Hello, my lovely students. I hope all of you are doing so well. And in today's video, we're going to have a look at some important concepts and final revision before your end of term 1 exams. So this video is very important. I need you to give me your full attention. Get a piece of paper, get a pencil, your eraser, and roll up your sleeves. All right, so in the first part here that we're going to have a look at, it is about algebra, solving equations. So we're going to start with algebra. All right, so I'm going to take here, for example, question C as an example. We're not going to answer everything together, but I need you right now. We did this today in class. You got an empty pack on Google Classroom. You can open it or you can copy the question from the screen right now, answer it on your notebook, come back to check your answer. I'm going to remind you now of how to do this. Here, I first need to find n. This is what we need at the end. We need to find n. n equals what? This is our target. So in order to find n, I need to ask myself, what happened to n here first? What happened to n? Well, Mr. n, we divided it by 3. Then after that, we added to it 8. Oh, so the last thing that happened is that we added 8. So get rid of the last thing that happened. We work it backwards. So I'm going to subtract from here 8, subtract from here 8. Some students actually say, oh, mister, I'm going to just take it there as minus. It's not going to be a problem. I'm just letting you understand how it works. So here, bye-bye to the 8. It's not there anymore. N over 3 is left on this side equals 10. All right, mister, great. So now I need n. Okay, that means I need to get rid of what? The 3. It is division. Yeah, so I'm going to give it multiplication, the inverse operation. Bye-bye to the 3 here. So n equals 10, mister. Hooray. I got it right. No. Whatever happens on this side must also happen on the other side. So it is 10 times 3 also. Don't forget it. So 10 times 3 is 30. N equals 30. Guys, I'm so sorry for my terrible handwriting. I'm just using the mouse. You know that this is not my real handwriting. All right, so here, this is the answer of question C. Let's go to the next question on the same page, which is question G. How can I do this? Expand the brackets. 10 times n is 10n, mister. 10 times positive 2, it's positive 20, mister. Be careful. If this was minus, then it would have been minus 20. But it's positive, so it's positive times positive, positive 20. 5 times n is 5n. 5 times positive 6 is positive 30. Okay, mister, after expanding the brackets, what am I supposed to do? I want all the variables to go together on the same side, the numbers together on the other side. So 10n is going to stay the same, but 5n is going to move. Yes. Do you remember what Mr. Ahmed said today in class? If you move anything from one side to the other side, you must change that sign. So it's going to be minus 5n because I moved it, equals positive 20 goes there, negative 20 plus 30. Great. 10n minus 5n is going to be just 5n, yes, equals minus 20 plus 30. Oh, mister, they have different signs. We're going to subtract it. It's going to be 5. And the sign of the big number is positive, so it's just 5. Great. Oh, sorry. I can hear you guys saying, no, mister, it's 10, not 5. All right, so negative 20 plus 30 is positive 10. Positive 10. So n equals what? n equals 2. That is a 2. Awesome. Okay, now we're done with solving equations. Let's go to another lesson. I told you we're going to skip this part. All right, so go to factorizing. Factorizing expressions. Here, ask yourself, make sure you use the highest common factor. Look at this. If this is not mentioned in the test, that is fine. You have still to use the highest common factor. What is the highest common factor here between 5z and 15? Well, mister, let's look at the numbers. 5 and 15. What's the highest common factor between 5 and 15? What's the number that I can divide both of them by? Oh, mister, you can divide both of them by 5. Great. Can you divide both of them by a higher number? No, only 5. Yes, only 5. Look at the variables. Oh, mister, it's just only one variable. There is only a z here. There is nothing here, no variables. Oh, so I cannot take any variable that is common? You cannot, mister. All right, so it is only 5 that is the highest common factor. Now, what is 5z divided by 5? Oh, it's just going to be z. Okay, that's how it works. I'm going to take 5z divided by 5 is just z. Positive 15 divided by 5 is just positive 3. Exactly, and this is the answer. We're done answering question A. Let's answer another question because it's going to work the same way exactly in the rest. Let's have a look at F. F here, I'm going to ask myself about the numbers first. 14 and negative 21. So what's the highest common factor between 14 and 21? Well, yeah, it's just a 7. Only 7. What about the variables? A and nothing. No common variables, Mr. Ahmed. It's just only 7. Good. Now divide. 14a divided by 7 is 2a. Minus 21 divided by 7 is 3. That's it. We're done with question F. That is how we factorize. I want to take you guys to question. Let's have a look at F. Question F. All right. Here, look at the numbers 12 and 16. What's the highest common factor? What's the number that I can divide both of them by? Well, someone might say 2, Mr. 2. I can divide both of them by 2. Yes, I agree with you, but can you divide by a bigger number? You must ask yourself this question. Ask yourself, because they wanted the highest common factor. Even if they don't want the highest common, they don't write it. We want the highest common factor outside the brackets. So 12 and 16, I can divide them by 2. Yes. Can you divide by a higher number? Yeah, I can divide by exactly 4. I can divide both of them by 4. So this, oh, we're not done yet, mister. 1 second. That is the highest. Can I find a higher number to divide 12 and 16 by? No, I can't. 4 is the highest factor that I can divide both of them by. Good. Let's look at the variables. Y and y squared. Oh yeah, I have here the same variable, but not the same power. I'm going to take the one that is less and write it outside this way. I'm going to write it outside this way. Now open the brackets. 12y divided by 4y, oh, y divided by y, bye. Okay, so if you have the same variable divided by itself, bye. So now 12y divided by 4y is just 3 minus 16 divided by 4 is 4, but y is squared divided by y. Oh, I remember this lesson, mister. If I have the same base, we just subtract the power. Y squared divided by y just equals y. We subtracted the powers. Y squared divided by y to the power of 1 is just y to the power of 1, but we did not write the power of 1. We just keep it there empty. So we agreed here, 16y squared divided by 4y is just 4y. And this would be the answer. Anything about factorizing? Let's see. No, that's it. Okay, now we're going to go to substitution. Substituting in expressions. Let's take, I'm going to take one question from here, which is question K. Let's do question K. Question K here says 2m squared plus 3 when m is -4. Well, I'm going to remove m squared and just put -4. So it is 2 brackets -4 squared plus 3. And that's it. Let's do it. -4 squared is going to be -16. So it's 2 outside. -4 is 16. -4 squared is going to be +16 plus 3. And what's inside the brackets first? 16 and 3 is 19. You multiply 19 by 2 is going to give you exactly 38. And this is how we substitute in expressions. All right. Anything else? No, about substitution, no. Same thing here also about substitution, the same thing exactly. Everything is just the same and even easier. Expanding brackets. How do we expand brackets? I just take this number and I multiply it by the one inside here, the first term, and I multiply it by the second as well. So here is going to be 5 times x, which is 5x. Pay attention to the sign, please. It's very important. +5 times +4 is just +20. That is how we expand brackets. All right, guys. Let's keep going. What else? All right, I want to go back still to algebra. There is something in algebra here. Oh, there is nothing? Oh, here you go. Okay. How do we answer such questions? Well, 12a to the power of 8 over 4a to the power of 5. We agreed I'm going to just divide first to the numbers. 12 divided by 4 is only 3. A to the power of 8 divided by 8 to the power of 5. Well, mister, we subtract the powers in division if the bases are the same. So it's just a 3a to the power of 3. That's it. In a question like, for example, 20, 3 and 18, as if you're finding the simplest form of 3 over 18. What's 3 over 18 in the simplest form? Oh, mister, I'm going to divide both of them by 3. Exactly. So divide both of them by 3. Do it. Okay, so 3 is just going to be 1 and 18 is going to be 6. Perfect. That is the simplest form of 3 over 18. Then now, x to the power of 14 divided by x to the power of 2. Well, it's going to give us here, Mr. x to the power of 12. Up there. The big one is up there. All right. Then y to the power of 11 divided by... Oh, there is no y down there. So just keep it the same. Y to the power of 11. Oh, mister, do I have to write the one there? Of course, no. I just wrote it not to confuse you, but then I decided to erase it. So I have to erase it. The 6, let's get it there in the middle. So it's just x to the power of 12, y to the power of 11 over 6. One of you asked me before in the session, in class, mister, I wrote it this way, 1 over 6, because 3 over 18, the simplest form is 1 over 6. And then I wrote here x to the power of 12, y to the power of 11. Is this correct or not? Yes, it is correct. Exactly the same thing as this. All right, let's answer another question. Here, if I want to answer question 19, let's do it. 12 divided by 4 is just 3. Y, okay, x to the power of 3 divided by, I don't have any x's, so it's just x to the power of 3. Y to the power of 8 divided by y to the power of 2 is just y to the power of 6. That is it. Okay, guys? That is everything about here dividing or finding the quotient of those expressions. All right, let's move up there. I'm so sorry about this noise. It's the foundation stages break time. All right, so here, if I have this, what does this mean? It just means it's 7 to the power of 3. This is how we expand it. J to the power of, oh yeah, so it's j to the power of 2 to the power of 3, which is j to the power of 6. Okay, guys, we multiply the power. If we have a power to another power, we multiply the powers by each other. But it's here, it's not only the j squared that is to the power of 3, it's 7 also that is to the power of 3. That's why I wrote 7 to the power of 3, j to the power of 6. You want to leave it this way? That's fine. You want to do it? Fine, do 7 times 7 times 7. It is also fine. Okay. Let's do here, for example, 10 to the power of 2 and all is to the power of 3 equals 10 to the power of? Yes. I heard some people saying 5. No. Here we multiply the powers. 6 to the power of 6. There is a difference between doing this, which is 10 to the power of 2, and all is to the power of 3, we multiply the powers. But if I say 10 to the power of 2, and I'm multiplying it by 10 to the power of 3, oh, here I add the powers. So it's 10 to the power of 5. Focus, everyone, please. If I'm multiplying at the same basis by each other, we add the powers. But if I have only one base to one power and all is to another power, I multiply the powers. Okay? Please, guys, you can pause the video now and keep going and keep practicing the other questions. Compare your answers to the answers that were already marked and discussed together in class. Keep practicing. Please do not only watch. Watch, pause, practice. Go back, watch, pause, practice, please. All right, the last part here is maybe like, all right, let's answer question 3 here. X to the power of m and all is to the power of 2. Oh, mister, we agreed we're going to multiply the powers. So it's x to the power of, what is m times 2? 2m. Don't say it is m2. No, it's 2m, please, okay? What else is there? Okay, let's multiply them here. If I have 3 to the power of 4 here, 3 to the power of 4, if you multiply 3 by itself, 4 times 3 times 3 is 9, by 3 is 27, by 3 is 81. So this is 81. I want to multiply 81 by x to the power of 3 by x to the power of 5. So it's going to be 81. X to the power of 3 times x to the power of 5 is x to the power of 8. Same thing here. 10 times 11 is 10 times 11 is 110. G cubed times G is just G to the power of 4. H to the power of 8 times H to the power of 8, H to the power of 16. Oh, mister, what about V to the power of 6 times what? There is no V there, so it's just V to the power of 6. And this would be the final answer. Okay, guys? Please pause the video, practice more about this. Watch, compare your answers, your new answers to the answers that you have in the pack that we discussed in class. Then keep doing the same thing over and over again. What else is here? We've done all of this. All right, that's it. And there is going to be part 2. You have to watch it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.